The Philippines feels like home to me. I feel welcome. I feel like I belong here. The last thing I want for my daughter is a government education. These are our children, and I see what's going on in schools. I don't know anything about this teacher. What price would you give up 10 years for? I had to wait 12 more years just so I can collect a little check that probably won't even be there in 12 years. If you haven't been to the Philippines, but you got an interest and you're putting it off, man, you are missing out on definitely life-changing possibilities. It ain't necessarily fun in the Philippines. For a lot of people, it's very much a life-changing event. You move to a tropical climate, embrace it, take it for what it is. If it's hot outside, eat better.
6 years ago, I landed in the Philippines as a tourist, and 90 days later, my world was turned upside down. I was a dad again. Meet my amazing wife and our adorable daughter, and the whole crazy adventure that turned a vacation into a family. This is our story.
You know, they are what they are. We'll see how we go with it in the future. Jesus Christ, up and down this driveway. This was a bad idea. That's a nice little incline, trying to keep your breath and not get it rushed. Maybe I'll just stand here at the fence and talk. Might be better. Nice little hay field. Hopefully not get shit on by a bird. Let's see. I got to the top of the hill and I want to talk about expats. Damn it. I really want to give a special thanks to all the subscribers that's been with me for quite a while at this point. From my heart to yours, I appreciate you so much. For a guy like me, without the comments, you know who you are. I know your names. If I didn't know your names, I know your screen name. From the very beginning, y'all been there with me, and I appreciate that more than I can know. It's not your normal, I appreciate that. I will always remember you. If we meet in the future, you need some advice, I ain't gonna be hard to reach for you. I'm gonna know who you are. And that's why I wanna say thanks to the new subscribers. To the new subscribers that don't know already, I'm an expat to be, so to speak. I came to the Philippines in 2018. Out with the family, getting some ice cream real quick.
I like this better. Okay, let's pause that. This is for one more pause.
In the Philippines, you'll probably have to learn how to make your own ice cream. Like, you can probably get all the stuff that you need.
You know, people have complimented me on my family. You know, you got a great wife, Jay. You got a great daughter. You're lucky. You really hit the jackpot. And it's like, I did hit the jackpot. And it's still hard. Jackpots don't mean easy. Nothing I've noticed ever in my life has been easy, and there's always challenges. But luckily, that's a challenge worth fighting for, you know. And we have. It's been a 5.5 year fight to survive together in this world. This world makes everything really hard for you. Distances, barriers, roadblocks, rules, regulations, paperwork. Ain't nothing about any of this been easy. They try to keep us apart, actually. Like, I wasn't allowed to be there for a while. I wasn't allowed to get them out. I mean, there's things in life that just, like, no matter what you do, it's a fight. Luckily, we won, so to speak. We won for that time period, but there's going to be other battles and other things coming up in the future. I'm looking forward to sharing these things with, you know, my comrades, so to speak, my guys on my team. I mean, this channel, over time, it'll become more of what I really want it to be anyway. Right now, I got to kind of do what we got to do. Make some videos, learn how to be a better vlogger, get better in front of this camera, talk about what really matters to me. You know, when I leave the Philippines now, it is really a sadness. I mean, I hate leaving the Philippines. After this last visit where we were really free for the first time since COVID, where you could just do what you want, get up when you want, go when you want, you know, meet people if you want. Just, it was free for the first time in a few years for me being over there. And more so now than ever, it hurts being away. I watch videos, I see people taking, you know, videos, vlogging on the boulevard, out just sightseeing and stuff, and it's like, oh, man, that is so hard to tell someone when they don't know what it's like. Every day you go out, you can make a friend. You can talk to just about anybody. And the ones that don't want to be talked to, you can tell usually. I had plenty, I can't tell you how many guys just approached me on the boulevard, foreigners, not talking about Filipinos, but foreigners who just approached me on the boulevard. A couple recognized me from vlogging, but I'd say most didn't, just wanted to talk. They felt comfortable enough just to say hi to me and start talking, and I don't think any of the conversations lasted less than 30 minutes.
It was actually, I mean, I was in the middle of a run, and he just like got in the path. He said, "Man, are you an actor?" And I was like, "I'm 50, so I'm 50. I'm not an actor."
Yeah, a frustrated actor.
Yeah, frustrated actor on the boulevard of Dumaguete. Well, he started talking about Darwin and Valencia, and because I was so intrigued to hear about it, I was listening. What a beautiful man.
It was interesting. It was fun. I liked it. I didn't even have one conversation where I was like, I didn't want to talk to this person. It was interesting. Most part is just people being able to say hi. Things that do not happen here at all. Nobody really wants to know who you are unless you're like at the gym. Some people do after a while, but if you're not doing something regularly in a situation, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I'm not into the church thing anymore. I don't like any of the churches I used to go to, pastors and so. That's another subject. I definitely love my God and love Jesus, but churches, I'm out of touch with that right now. So there is something about being in the Philippines that it just gets to be a depressed feeling when you can't be there. We could force it, we could make it happen, but it wouldn't be the right time right now. It wouldn't be under the right situation. I've made decisions again. I mean, I'm always changing. I tell Idle some of my plans all the time, and no doubt she gets tired of hearing it. My plans are changing every 24 hours right now. Like, I cannot go a year at a time, not coming to the Philippines, come visit, go back. I'm making all my plans, my business decisions. I think you'll see here in the very near future how the YouTube channel is even changing for us. I don't want to be on camera as much as I am right now, but the channel's not going to work unless I get on camera and don't make her have to edit and try to turn in some of my ramblings into a funny little video with all her editing ability. You know, when you can come on the camera and tell you some of your experiences in the Philippines and get a pretty good following behind it because you're just being authentic, being yourself and sharing yourself. And I'm like, that's what I started this for in the first place. I wanted to connect with people. I want people to be able to reach out and talk with me, you know, and I've had some of that. And honestly, I want more because there's nothing but time on our side for a lot of us, but you don't know where we're all going to be at in a few years. Building relationships now for the future, having that comfort level that you kind of got to know somebody, you've been talking to them, they recognize you. That's going to be important if you're going to live in the Philippines. A lot of you guys traveling over in the Philippines, you're going to need more than a vlogger friend in the Philippines. You better have somebody who can come check on you every once in a while. You know, you don't answer a phone call, they might actually worry about you and want to come see how you're doing. That's a friend. Not if they don't hear from you, they just wait till the day that they do hear from you. A lot of people that are acquaintances in the Philippines with each other, but you might want to work on finding an actual friend. Enjoy the Philippines. Make some friends. You got to learn how to talk to people, learn how to socialize better. I mean, I'm really kind of shy in real life. I don't try to bother nobody. I try to keep my head down for the most part. Filipinos approach me just as much as anybody else. I had many interactions with Filipinos that I was surprised. I don't want to be that guy, but that's my nature. I can't help it. So when Filipinos take to me and they embrace me, I take that real personal. Like, it means a lot to me. So here are people making fun of Filipinos, you know, in the Filipino way, you know, which has gotten to be so common when people talk about living in the Philippines. They just kind of, you know how it is here. I know how it is here in America, and I'll take what it is in the Philippines any day of the week, 7 times over. That's what makes the Philippines great. If you know what you're going to expect when you're in the Philippines, why are you getting upset over it? If you're in the Philippines complaining about heat, you know, it's like, yeah, I can say it's a hot day, but, you know, to make it more than what it is, oh man, you move to a tropical climate, embrace it, take it for what it is. If it's hot outside, eat better. If you're in the Philippines, you're complaining about the electric bills being high. Did you not know it was high before you came? Did you not know it was hot before you came? You know, did you not know about chickens and roosters? You knew these things were there. To go there and waste your time complaining about these things that you can't change, you're falling down the wrong path. You're going down that road of just being upset about everything. You can't change the roosters. You can't change the heat. You're not going to change any of the situations that everybody gets online and talks about, but you could make it better. You can make some friends. You could find better things to do. One of the things I miss absolutely the most about the Philippines is just walking down the street, sightseeing and walking. If I pass a fruit stand, I can look over, grab me something if I want it. If you walk far enough, you'll probably pass the stand cooking some fresh chicken, you know, some banana Q. Oh my God, some banana Q right now. Wife wants some camote Q. 140 pesos, 5 banana Q, and some other things in there as well. Have to ask the wife the names on the way home from the beach. Grab me a quick chicken, some lechon. I miss not being able just to interact with people. I can go out anytime I want in the Philippines and I can have a social interaction. I don't have to be isolated. I can walk up and down this driveway 1,000 times, and that's about the most interaction I'm going to get there is watching a car or a truck drive by. As far as the eye can see. Now, I don't have to live in the country, but no offense, I don't want to socialize with a whole lot of people back in America. I lived in apartments in Louisville, Kentucky. I lived in houses in neighborhoods in Kentucky. And honestly, those people didn't socialize much either. A wave, but everybody's going off to their job, back home, work. You know, if you're that lucky neighbor who has good neighbors, you know, we all knew those situations where you hang out with each other on Friday night, y'all have cookouts and stuff. Those are very rare situations. It's not everybody doing that. The social interaction with people in the Philippines is what I miss probably the absolute most. Just being able to go outside, being a foreigner makes it even easier. You can meet a Filipino anytime you want. I mean, like anytime you want. Just go walk for a few minutes. Say hi to them. Almost guaranteed they're going to say hi back and nod to you and be respectful towards you. You take an interest in someone else when you're in the Philippines, and they will probably most likely take an interest in you. They'll know you. They'll learn your name quicker than you'll learn their name. Enough can't be said about just being able to socialize with people in your life, not being depressed because you're alone in your thoughts all the time. Being able to go outside in the Philippines and just be able to talk to people when and wherever you want. Man, you don't know how valuable that is for most people. That's better than medicine for people that are sick and depressed and feeling alone and always down, who drink and do drugs for whatever medications they need for their mental issues they might be having. Being able to get outside, breathe fresh air, interact with people, that's medicine, that's therapy. I'm back to 240 pounds. I was down to 215 in the Philippines. I went from 235 to 215 in 10 weeks. I wasn't really dieting. You know, I did a little bit better, but it was mostly I was just out, being active, sweating more often. Being back here in Kentucky, I haven't ran sprints like I did in the Philippines even one time. I mean, I zero energy to run sprints here. You couldn't get me off the boulevard back in the Philippines. I enjoyed it. Whether there was anybody there or not, I enjoyed it. It didn't matter. That ocean, the breeze, the sun hitting you in the morning, just the sounds, knowing you're in the Philippines, there's an energy there that you can't replace. I mean, you have to experience it. I thought y'all'd listen to the sounds of this for 20 minutes. That's shut up and just come film this every day. And if you don't feel that, it might not be the place for you. I mean, there's definitely people that's got too many issues. There's too many problems, from finances to they don't know how they're going to make it work. It's just too much stress for a lot of people. I've really changed on who I would even talk to about the Philippines anymore. I'm willing to fight for it. I've changed a career for it. I've changed how much income I make for it. I'm willing to live on way less than I ever thought possible, and I'm proving it. I've told people, talking about when they should retire, 62, 67, 70, different income levels. I'm like, man, if I could retire today, I'd be done. I don't care what the payment would be. If I could live on it, I'd be done. Just the idea, the happiness I would have to know that I'm free. What price would you give up 10 years for? I had to wait 12 more years just so I can collect a little check that probably won't even be there in 12 years. And if it is there in 12 years, what's it worth? What it would be worth today, it ain't gonna be nothing in 12 years. Who knows what rentals cost in 12 years? I feel like I'm on fire to get to the Philippines right now just to pay for some kind of lot before it triples in value again over 5 years. I'm lucky that I could even be thinking about that, because I'm surprised any of it's obtainable. I'm surprised they haven't found a way to make property just so expensive that no one can afford it. I'm surprised we're all just not renting something. And it may be that way one day. Who knows what rules change or what government changes rules and changes anything. Who knows if you get to own your own property in 20 years, if they don't take it or something, who knows? With the Philippines being my daughter's home, where she was born, that gives me a sense of safety feeling inside. Like, I do belong here. I don't care what anybody ever says. I mean, mostly it's almost always positive. It would be somebody, my background saying something different if it was. I never hear anything negative from Filipino. The Philippines feels like home to me. I feel welcome. I feel like I belong here. And that's very important. You're somewhere where you never feel like, maybe I should go home. Never have that feeling. And every day, every month, every year I spend over there, over the last 6 years, especially this past visit, it gets to be more and more my home. I realize everything I'm learning, everything I'm experiencing, it's going to be to help me with the future for my daughter. And I need to know those things, because that is where she's going to spend many, many decades, I hope. I don't want her here in America, to be honest with you, that much. There's not a whole lot here I want her to do. I've had a lot of people tell me some suggestions, and thank you for them. But I have, I'm a dad, I'm 50, I've lived in this world a lot, and there's a lot of things I don't want for her. The last thing I want for my daughter is a government education. I want to teach my daughter. I want to hire people to help teach my daughter. I want my daughter to experience things differently. I want my daughter to learn about finances that she's not going to learn in school. I want my daughter to learn how to budget a checkbook, because they don't teach you that stuff in school. I want my daughter to learn a lot of things about entrepreneurship, how to run a business, how to be your own person in life. They don't teach you that stuff in school. I do not want my daughter in public schools. I understand public school is the only option for a lot of people. I had to go to a public school. My kids went to public schools. So I got firsthand knowledge why I don't want my daughter in public schools. There's a lot to talk about something like that. I'm happy to answer questions, but these are our children, and I see what's going on in schools. If you happen to have a good school, congratulations, because you're one of the lucky ones. I raised my daughter since birth just about. I was gone a little bit, but handing her off to somebody who may be 21, inexperienced with life. I don't know anything about this teacher. I'm not handing my daughter over just to anyone to be taught, because that was the location close to where I lived. I would travel and live in another state if I had to. I would live on another part of the planet if I had to, if it changed the situation for schooling. I want my daughter to have what she needs. I want her to have interactions. She'll have all those things in life. She'll have, classes to go to, activities to go to. When you have all these ideas and this excitement, and you have it, and you know what it is, you're somebody like me, you want to share it. But there was no one to share it with in my real life. In my real life, my daughter don't care to hear about the Philippines. My son don't care to hear about the Philippines. Nobody I know really cares besides my mother. My brother's a little bit, but not much. But mostly mom. She's interested. So what do you do when you can't talk to anybody about something that excites you, man? It's hard. And that's where YouTube comes in. You get to help people. A lot of you foreigners over there living, trying to survive in the Philippines, one of your biggest mistakes that you're making right now is that you're not meeting enough Filipinos. You're staying in your comfort zone, trying to deal with people that you're familiar with. And that could be your biggest mistake in the Philippines. Making some friends with some locals could be what saves you in the Philippines. It could be what makes you feel better about being in the Philippines. You put all your eggs in one basket with expats, that could be your downfall. You're struggling, but you got that one or two good friends that you think are there to help you. Then all of a sudden they bail on you, they vanish, they pass away, they move on to something else. They get tired of the same old routines that you were relying on for companionship. Don't put all your eggs in one basket with foreigners, with expats. Don't be afraid to meet locals. Those are the people that you're going to see probably for the rest of your life, guaranteed. The expat may not be the one that you see for the rest of your life, regardless of how many coffees you've had with him. If they don't have children in the Philippines, there's a good chance they may not be there very long. I watch vloggers who made big channels in the Philippines always talk about moving to this other country. Maybe they'll go back to America. Maybe it's for content. Maybe they're being truthful. You've caught me saying over the last few months, I don't like being on camera. I don't really want to be vlogging. And I shouldn't say that, because that's actually not true in the biggest sense that I have a hardest time explaining. I love the fact that I'm talking right now knowing thousands of guys I potentially might like are going to watch it. And the more I do it, the more people it's going to reach out to. I love that. The better I get on camera, the more I actually say. When I got this camera off, I say exactly what I want to say most of the time. And I'm like, man, if that was on camera, man, I'm going to have buds all over the place. Turn the camera on, it's like, man, well, write it down, Jay, write it down. Yeah, you try reading and writing, trying to memorize script and say it without stuttering and giving it to the wife and asking her to edit that thing for the next 3 days because you couldn't say 2 sentences straight, because it's hard to remember your thoughts and keep going while you're staring at a camera lens. It's work. But I really do love the idea that I can say whatever I want, discuss whatever I want, and some bros out there and some female friends that I've actually grown the channel with here recently, making videos for them too. I don't want it to all be about the dudes, because honestly, raising my daughter in the Philippines, she's going to be with me just about everywhere I go. If I'm at the boulevard, there's a 90% chance she's going to be with me. If I say I'm going to the gym, that gym is going to have to allow my daughter in there, or it won't be my gym, because I'm going to raise her in the gym. If she's loving it, which she already does. That's the other best thing. The number one thing that I miss the most about the Philippines is all the dreaming I get to do when I'm there. Looking at my daughter, realizing I could have picked a few cities. Cebu City is still in play, because honestly I could probably live in both of them. Live in Cebu, live in Dumaguete, both. She was born in Cebu. I just think with all the things I've done, the research, the reasonings, what I'm looking for, what I want her to have in the future, Dumaguete really fit everything I was looking for. And when I'm in Dumaguete and I saw my daughter and I started thinking about the future, I had so much fun imagining the potentials that could be right there in the city.